Alright, talking about string change. Got stickers on my case now, so anyways, we're gonna see how dirty this fretboard is. Ugh. Ugh. Even the strings. Ugh. Ugh. Now, gotta get some lemon oil. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Get the lemon oil right here. And some paper towels. Why not? So, gotta clean this mess up. Man, this thing is dirty. So this is my Squier 51. Yep, hit my symbols up here. Anyways, so it was a Strat 51 Precision look, and I took and changed the humbucker to a P90. It's got like the telly in the bar. It's got kind of my telly tones, maple neck. This thing is nasty. So, ugh, finger goo. Look at that. You can't see it from here, but there's like black dots in it, along with my inlays. We don't want all of that. So, what I want to do is do a string change, clean it up, get it back to sounding a-okay. Been using Ernie balls in this. Let me just slide this down a little bit so you can see it on camera. Anyways, see that? Super skinny top, heavy bottom. That's usually what I'm running right now. These are 10s. Come in a 3-pack. What happened with that neck pickup? I don't know. I got it with the telly pickup in it. It's a good question. Might have to ask Fab when he originally had it, since I bought it from him and basically took ownership after that. So, getting strings out, it's another day. And I just picked this guy back up. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a point-to-point transparent overdrive. Don't mind the Velcro, but everything else is transparent. That's made by Bill Yell at Squidworks. I'll get on that a different video, unfortunately. Right now I'm trying to work on the string change. So this is the fun part. Ew. 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 Yeah, it sounds like a steel string. That one too. Oh man, because there's so much work to do. And if I wanted to be bored to death. Alright, the fun part. Loosen these up enough so I can get to the winding. So, all 6 tuning pegs right here. Most people like to do that whole thing where you cut across like the pick guard. I'm not steady enough with the scissors or wire cutters or a hacksaw or a Slim Jim or whatever you guys use to cut it to go across the pick guard. I just like to do it the slow-mo way and go around the tuners, detune everything enough where I can get it around the post. So, I don't know if you guys can actually see the post from there. Yeah, there we go. So, the ease out. So, I just kind of grab it, go around the post one time, come through, try not to stab myself. One down. Go to the next guy. Go under a string tree, same thing. Go around the post. I didn't detune him enough. So, I was yakking my jaws. So, we're going here, off the string. There we go. Same one. This guy's brown. He's not even a steel string anymore. It's the G. You didn't stay in tune. We're taking you off of here. Boy, this neck is dirty. Playing outside does that, I guess. Getting some moisture in there. I got pick dust all on the guard. I got to get that cleaned up. So, just trying to provide some cheap entertainment for everybody. What's up, Jim? Jimbo. Ready for Saturday, Jimbo. Getting ready for Saturday. That's what this is. Ugh! And I know a lot of you guys are like, what are you doing? I have so little time between now and Saturday. So, that's why. Oh, A string, you're dead too. You could stay in tune, but you couldn't hold a tone. Get you back to 440. These are not locking tuners. These are literally the Squier tuners. Yes, Squier tuners. I wanted $1 million tuning system, I'd buy Evertune, but I don't have that. I can do Floyd's. We're doing the old school hardtail and tuner. So I got all these out. I'm pulling the strings away because right now, not with the strings, I'm just kind of covering ground with how dirty this thing is. So you guys see this? This is Wyman lemon oil. This is my favorite one. They say you all the other stuff. I just use this. So what I do is a little dabadilla. Like they always say, I use a just finger cloth. And enough just to laminate the surface all the way down. And then I start fine tuning on top of the fret. Usually I just barely rub Scotch-Brite, but I'm out of Scotch-Brite today, so we're just going to do a cleaning. I'm not going to polish the frets because, I mean, for me, I can still get around this, but the fingerboard is just nasty. It was starting to goop, and I'm not one for hand goo. And it cleaned right up, so everything on the cloth is actually, yep, there we go, get maple back. I just don't have the maple syrup smell with it. It's the only thing I don't have with this maple fretboard. The Squire Strat, the USA Squire Strat, that's the one that smells like I have pancakes in the case. Alright, so you guys probably won't see this, but this is all the pick dust. I just kind of go through the hardware. If I wanted to be really picky, I would be going out with a Q-tip today, but see how we're just kind of laminating the surface a little bit, a little dabadilla. Get another dab right there. And just kind of go back through, pick up all that pick dust, kind of get that tortoise back. You can see a little sparkle in the tortoise again. But you don't want to saturate it where it's just oily and it'll never pick up, so you just kind of go over surfaces and now the body. So we'll go through the sunburst. That was kind of my plan, was to have like every guitar on sunburst, so you would never know the same one except for guys that play guitar. But I'm fine with the color selection. I like the blonde strats. I like sunburst. Starting to like the off blues and the other ones. Not picky about it. A lot of people are picky about guitar stuff. I wonder why. It is kind of furniture. It's nice furniture to have. So we're just kind of loving on it right now, giving it a good bath. So like I said, that little dabadilla, still working with that one polished piece of the fingertip. Kind of going back through where I had all my palm prints at the top. Go through the horn. See all my stress cracks, all my belt rash, my nice hole. It's just nice to do your own vintage relic by your own hand. So we're just kind of going through lemon oil. And that cleans it up pretty nice. See all the rash. Alright, next let's start getting these strings off. I'm not going to polish the back. I'm going to let that oil sit right there while we're doing the hardware pieces. So you guys can barely see the tail piece because of the comment section, I guess. We're going to just kind of go in through here. Look at that. You see how much wear was on the string. I don't know if you can see that or not. Nah, probably not. But there's indentations from every single fret. That's how much I've played this. So, and I don't use a capo. But that was every single fret, like on that E and the A. But I think I'm starting to see why they cut these all the way across, because they probably work in a shop and they're working for efficiency. I'm just doing it for qualitative reasons. I still got another one over there to do, but I really like to take my time with each guitar and live on it while I'm putting strings, because you're technically not playing it if you're working on it. And to me, this is the same thing. It's a little bit of an art to do. If you don't do your own string changes, I would advise watching a beginner's course on it. This is not that today. This is me just being on Facebook Live and finding time to get this done before my gig Saturday. So, golly, that's a lot of people watching today. But we're going to get through this. I still have 2 more guitars to do. Right now I'm talking about my telly. So what I use is my kitchen counter, my kitchen island. Makes a great work surface, but I just kind of keep everything in the case because that's just how I've done it. There's no right or wrong way. You can buy a fancy workbench. The case already has the neck rest, hence right here. And what I do is I just kind of rest the body up on the neck rest a little bit, and then you got everything elevated where you can get to it. That's just me doing it. There's no right or wrong way. Probably a Bible on this one too, how to change your strings, and if you don't follow it, you get hit by a lightning bolt kind of thing. But I'm not that guy. I just like to have fun. This is fun for me. So working through each one. Everybody else cuts them. I do it one at a time. That's just how I do it. So going through the hardware. Don't want to mess up my adjustment on the bridge because I want to keep the same settings I had before. They were glorious and low enough where I need them. So we're putting the same gauge back on here. Working through the thick strings. Probably boring some of these people to death that have no idea what a guitar is. And then all my guitar friends are like, that's cool, man, I want to talk. But we're not trying to work and talk at the same time. Usually if you're chatter at work, they're not exactly working. But right now I'm just providing cheap entertainment, like I said. Alright, just noticed I have some rust on the threads where I've played this so much and had moisture contact. Well, I guess that's the aging process on the bridge now. So we're going to have to deal with a little bit of moisture. Alright, now I can wipe down all this hardware so I can now get back to it. So again, Wyman oil right there. Just a little dab of Dia. Just to laminate the little piece of the tops. So kind of go down. And that just, to me, that's, even though it's acidic, it creates just a little bit of barrier and it soaks into the clear, the wood. Go across all the pickups, everything. I use the same stuff. It works for me. Alright, it looks like the stuff that I originally put on the body is starting to ooze up, so I'm going to have to wipe all the dry. Well, wipe all the stuff that's oozing up and wipe it dry with the dry part of the rag. So, looks like it's coming up good on the neck. I really don't have anything bubbling up. That's good. That's my AC unit, so if you hear a slight hiss in the background, that's actually air conditioning, so thank God for air conditioning. Just going through, using the dry side of the rag, going through all the hardware, going through the body, picking up the rest of what little bit did not soak in, because we gave that more than a minute to sit. Going through all the hardware, going through the neck, flip side. Don't want to stress on the neck, we'll just put it on the body. Alright. Don't even know how to change strings yet. But you can play the drums very well. I didn't even know you wanted to play guitar yet. So, we have the number of action items here. I have 6 strings to put on a 6-string guitar. And I got 2 more guitars and repeat the process. So, that's where I'm at right now. Alright. Pack of strings. Don't matter what pack it is. You can start little to bottom or bottom to little. I don't have a set process for this. Sometimes I mix it up. I'll start with the low E and then come up to the high E. Or I start with the high E and go to the low E. Usually it's whichever one I get out of the pack first. But I usually start one side and I just continuously move each piece. Let's start with the fat one. 52. That's a really fat top. Most people use like a 46 to a 50. But this is a 52. I really like that bump sound sometimes of an open E, which is fun. So all your Metallicas in E, most of your hair metal is either E or A, but there's a lot of stuff in E. Just put a slight bend, get it started because you got a hardtail to work through and the threaded side. So I just kind of curl it past the threaded piece of the saddle so we don't have too much stress on that, and the saddle's holding it. And so this is the trick, separating the men from the boys here. So when you do your guitar setup, if you don't want all the overwinding, what I do, I'm getting around here, is I use, starting with my lowest tuner, I use a 3 peg as just an eyeball measurement to start it. So what I do is I just kind of pinch right there where I had that 3rd peg of a distance, and then you turn your tuning peg to where you get a straight eye straight up and down. So you can just, you know, kind of like eyeing a needle with a thread. You're doing it with a string. So we're going straight through the tuning peg. And I haven't lost my measurement. It's still in my fingers. It's kind of the way I've shown it. And then you start here. So what you do is you have this little arch. And what I like to do is I kind of do like this pinch method where I get up here and I pinch the 2 sides and I kind of make like this shape here while I'm on top of the nut at the top. So you can use a string winder, which I had at some point, and then I got the jaw jacking. So you just put the string winder on there and you just have your way with it, and what you do is you still create that pinch point. So I'm going to set this down on the wrist, and that's where you can get your hands free, and then we're going to use slide that up. We're going to use that arch where it keeps a little bit of tension on the neck, and then just use the string winder and wind her on up. If y'all haven't done this before, this is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Maybe first year guitar, maybe not so much, but for a moderate player that's played, I don't know, at least 4 to 5 years, you should start learning how to change your own strings. That's just, you don't take it to Guitar Center anymore, kind of thing. If you don't like your own setup, watch somebody that's done thousands of setups. They're probably a lot more efficient than what I'm doing it, but this is just the way I learn. So keeping the tension. Not used to talking on Facebook at the same time of doing this, but this beats working on cars because I'm not throwing wrenches, and I'm not a fan of working on cars half the time because usually something's broken. I have to drive it the next day to work. Well, guess what? I don't drive my guitars. I have fun, so this is fun. Anymore? You don't change your strings anymore? Alright guys, so this is just me doing my own string changes. If you've just joined, this is the fun stuff right here. This is what every guitar player should learn how to do. And I like to have the fun of watching the excess like flip around, because that's also cheap entertainment. You'll see it like kind of line up and then flunk. Check that out. No Guitar Center. Oh man, dude, you're in the boonies, I bet. I got to talking and I missed my wound right there. So rookie mistake. I overwound over top of the original wound. That's okay. You can back her on up and put it back into the right wound and go back with your tuner. Go back underneath, and there you go. We going. And this is the E, and it's a really fat E. That's probably a B note. Or C, but you gotta play enough metal to know where that's at, I guess. So we're going in, we're going right against, oh, these are my pliers I used when I built my couple of pedals. He said don't take it to Guitar Center or don't take it there ever. I hear you. I concur. As Peyton Manning said in his retirement village or something that's on Nationwide, which is hilarious. So what I use is these, they're kind of flat. They're very pointy. They will stab you. And this really gets to the point. So what I do is I actually go all the way up against the tuner on it and then snip. That's the closest I can get. That's like the Remington shave of a cutter. So I got me a nice little, you guys probably can't see it there, but look at this guy. He's tiny. It's a tiny little Joyo, little clip-on tuner, just right behind the headstock. Most people would never know that. Most people think that's a cigarette mark when I got all my strings on, and they don't realize that that's my cheat code for when I'm not tuning and staying in tune while I'm playing sometimes. I'll cut that guy on while I'm playing and be like, yep, Jesus out. Yep, that was a B note, going to C note, going to D. Alright, getting some unwanted attention. Oh, I see what happened. Guess what? I was jacking my jaws. Again, can you guys see that string wind? That is terrible. Let's back that up and start again. So maybe I won't talk so much and actually pay attention when I'm doing it. So that's okay. I've already made the cut. So what you do is you just keep some tension, back her on up, and that's why I usually like to do it slow. So I can pay attention to what I'm doing. Yep, I overround it twice onto the same leg. We're just going to back it up where, okay, there you go. It clicked back in place. So I'm going to bring the tension back. Going all the way to the bottom. Make sure it cools all the way around. See, that's why I like those lock-in tuners with the screw behind the peg. I don't have that on this, but I have it on several other guitars, and they're nice. But I just like, I like to use what's there. No, that's an F. There we go. That's going to change. So right now what I'm only doing is putting tension just on the neck with that one string. This whole tuning for this one E is going to change. Yes, I will sweep the floors. And then we'll get to the other 5 strings. Let me go ahead and do that while everybody else is watching. So, got the A string. That's a 42. It's a little thicker. Like I said, it's a thick top. So, we're going to put on the 52 to the 42 to what's next? To a 30, to a 17, a 13, and a 10. So, that is kind of an odd. It'll get done. We sweep our floors like 15 times a day. We have a Husky. And boy, is that Husky shed. Golly. We had a robot vacuum, but the Husky killed that too. It takes like 2 minutes to sweep the floor. Unless y'all really want to watch me sweep the floors. I know my wife would enjoy that. But we have the A string on. Bam! Right there. Alright, same thing with the string tree. So this is just my gauge of doing it. And the only way I can explain it is I'm going to show you here. So on the E string, I measured it to here, which is 3 tuners up. I do the same thing on the A string. As I go on the A string, this is how I eyeball every one of them. I make sure it's pulled all the way through. That's my first post. I go 1, 2, 3. And then I hold it right there. And that's how I will line them up. So what I do is I move the tuning peg to where it's straight up and down. Thread the eye of the needle again. This is not my advanced course, but this is like, that's just how I was shown how to do it. Alright, so we have our measurement there, and then I'm going to put string tension on. So once we have it there, I'm going to do this one by hand instead of the string tuner, because I was not watching what I was doing and was paying attention to the screen over there. Since I'm on camera. I'm not used to doing this on camera, so trying to get a little bit more confidence in my abilities. So the only way to do that is practice, and this is what I'm doing right now. This is practice. Like, I'm practicing being on camera. That's the fun part, is everybody else gets to watch and comment and poke fun at me. It's like, he shouldn't stab himself with the ball into the strings like this. I guess next week's episode, I should do a Floyd Rose online. It's like, here's how you cut both sides of the string and people start freaking out. Or you could be really cool like Tom Morello, like on his Floyd Rose. He starts with the ball end through the top part of the tuner and comes down and then leaves all the overhangs hanging at the top, which is pretty cool. I've done that before, but you don't want to whack somebody in the face with that because, I mean, you do move around on stage and stuff. Alright, I got to talking again. Let's pay attention to what's happening on the tuning peg. So, tuning this ever so slowly. It's taking forever. So, we want to make sure that we're down below where a string tree would be, because that's not on an A and E for most tellies and strats have string trees. But usually the top 2 strings are too thick where they don't have the top. So, tension is coming loose right here. So now, Ooh, an octave, like the old doubling up. Alright, so what it is, I bend up. I'm on my next string, so you gotta go back and actually bend them back in, but that's an A. So what I do, that's the fifth, that's the seventh, so fifth on top, and the next one below is seventh harmonic, same harmonic. Boom, that's an A. I'm gonna look at the tuner. Judges say it's a G flat. That's because I already broke in the E string, so let's pull them up just a hair. Alright, that's an A. That's now an E. So that changes the tension on the neck. We're talking about neck tension again. Let's start doing the next ones. Oh, let me make this cut. My OCD's kicking in. I don't want that around, so we'll go all the way against the tuning peg. Oh. Trying not to miss the string. Alright, clean cut there finally. Going with the 30, we're going to cut the tuner off again so I don't kill my battery, even though it's like a little CR232 watch battery. That's the fun part. Unwind it. You're gonna just put a slight bend in it so you can go up under the bridge and go right into the saddle. So we're going to the D saddle. And for some reason, the thread, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the threads on these saddles are quite tall on the D and G, which I don't know why they do that. They're only low on the A and E. The rest of them are quite high. But the thicker the string, the D is always the one where I really have to make sure I clear that and not scratch it all the way down. So that's the fun part. So what I do is I really kind of work backwards and go through the tailpiece without trying to go into the threads, or I'm compromising the wound part of my string. Man, I wouldn't ever think to take this to Guitar Center. They probably wouldn't even know how to do it these days. Actually, I think they're building a new Guitar Center like 15 miles from here, but it's in Gastonia or Dallas. I've seen jobs apply for it, but it's like, darn, their managers only make like $30,000 a year. You can work at the Dollar General for that. So let's do the same thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna make my pinch point, and that's enough wounding for me to go through the tuning peg. When you get to the top, I usually eyeball that by the same length. So we're at the position. I make the arch. I'm going to start moving this underneath the string tree here. And we're going to go all the way around. Bring it around town. Alright, it does the first bend. I'm going to make sure that over bend goes over top. So over and under. And then it gets consecutively over and under, because now we have the string tree like a pair of helping hands right there on the top side of it. Boy, this is fun. Getting a wide audience today. I'm actually enjoying that a little bit. Not everything's always guitar related, but today's topic is guitar related. I was more motorcycle related today earlier. Really enjoy riding the last 2 days. It's now getting more fall-like weather, and able to hear some of my favorite soundtracks come out of those tailpipes of that motorcycle. And singing Turn the Page by Bob Seger, because I like the listening to the engine moaning out its one-note song. And if you get into the top gear, you know what I'm talking about on a motorcycle. You just have that low hum and rolling thunder, as they say. Well, all the bikers say. I'm not exactly a biker. That's a 4. Nope, that was a 7th. I'm just having fun with it. I got floors to sweep and 2 other guitars to do, but... Alright, that's supposed to be a D if I'm tuning it to itself, but we know that the tension has changed again, so... C sharp, D, A from G sharp. Yep, that sounds more like it. Alright, so let's move on to the G. I think I'm going to stop my video after I get this one all tidied up. Pretty much got all the cleaning done and the residue's gone, so I did wipe all that out. 30's done. I'm making a mess. This is not efficient by no means, but this is just the way I handle it, so please be patient. It's just for cheap entertainment. I'm not here to make a dollar by posting on Facebook. I'm not here to... I have no endorsements. This is just a cover song of me changing strings, because thousands of artists now have guitar techs do that for themselves, unless they are starving musicians like myself. Also a starving comedian. My memes are not, you know, dank memes. My memes are more dad joke memes. If anybody has not caught on to my shenanigans, I think the ones that have caught on to my shenanigans, I have like 22,000 something posts on one right now, which I could not believe. I put a lot of work in it, and I have a lot of my friends locally and some distant friends that I've only met mutually through Facebook that have made 22,000 comments on one post. That is hard to believe. So this is the G string. So G string is the last one where I can measure 3, so we get to the top of the E post, and that's my pinch point. Same thing, go all the way through, eye of the needle. Start right there. So I have my starting spot. We're going underneath the string tree, just give it a little tension, and I'm really going to pay attention more to the steel strings because they're very rigid. Unlike the wound strings kind of just, you know, they can roll around a little bit. Well, the steel strings, they really pop around here. They could hurt you, poke an eye out, you'll shoot your eye out. So I'm going to watch the winding on them because they're very particular and they'll V on a bend. And I don't want that. I want it to stay around the post as much as possible. So by keeping this tension like I am right here, that's keeping an arch and keeping the tension, and then I'm able to wrap around the tree of the tuner. So we're going to keep moving, keeping it moving, keeping it moving. Walking the mile, walking the green mile. So we're going to keep doing this. And then when I plug it in, I'll roll on too. How about that? So keeping the tension there. Boy, that looks pretty up here. I hate that y'all can't see it, but I'll bring it here when I get done, and I'll show you what I'm talking about the whole time. So it's all the way down on the other side of the camera. We're going to go back all the way. He's going to go all the way. Almost there. Alright, I'm not going to flop the G around like I did the other ones. I'm actually going to tune up the G with the tuner on. But I'm going to go up just a hair to about an A. Give myself some danger zone here. Alright, so that's bending it a bit. Come back down to G. We still got to break these in, so once I get them all in. But this is what I wanted to show was the tuning post. So if you can look at the wrap right there is the wrap. You see, you need that consistent, especially on the steel strings. That's the key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cutters and go right up against the post right there and get it right just past that wound. And that'll hold it there. These are the non-locking tuners, and that's the way I do it. Alright, last two on the 6-stringer, which I've probably spent an hour just jacking my jaws. Have Premiere Nate. Hey, dude, big time. Appreciate you joining. It's just my shenanigans of changing strings, but yeah, thanks, Jason. Y'all have fun. Appreciate your pedal series, dude. Y'all are awesome. So we got a B going through the B side. Smooth as butter. Alright, now the trick is when you get to the B and the E, or the last two that you don't do. Did you finish those errands? So what I do is I like to bring it back, and I just kind of go backwards about 1, 2, 3, and then that's my pinch point right there. So I go backwards 3 tuners and then get my pinch point. Alright. So once I get these last two on there, got some floors to sweep unless y'all want to watch that too. And we'll just knock this out. So what I'm going to do is eye through the needle. I have my position. We're going to hold it there, go underneath the string tree. Again, make another arch. And then this one, I am going to use the winder and pay attention to the windings. Oop. Still have my position here. It slid. What do you do when it slides? You make sure it goes on there. It's hardware, not software. If it was software, it'd be easy. Oh wait, is software really easy? I don't know. I made a Microsoft joke earlier today. And it says, when I excel at things, people like the spreadsheet. And I thought that was hilarious. So I sent that meme to my friend at Microsoft. Oh my goodness. It says, if I excel at things, people start the spreadsheet. And it is like, you know what? I see your PowerPoint. And then another person put, that's a nice outlook to have. So what in the world? Where is the milk? Where is the milk? Did you get the floors done? Where's the milk? Is that how much milk that we have? Hold on, I'll check. I will let you know on video. Where's the milk? Is this like fine, like, see, like if you see orange, tell me what orange is. Orange is the pack of strings. Where's red? I see red. I spy. Alright. Here's the B. I'm going to go up to a C sharp. Just kind of go up 2 notes a bit. Because you always bend up naturally when you play. So I go up to a C sharp. And then we're going to go back down to B. Just check the other ones. Alright, so that's the B. Let me hurry up and get this last one on, and I can do my other chores real quick. This has been fun. Glad you guys joined. You know what? We need milk. Jody, we need milk. We need milk if you're watching. Last one, E string. You'll shoot your eye out. Yeah, away from the body, and then it just unravels. Magic. Not really magic. It's literally gravity. It does the thing. The thing does the thing. Alright, so slight bend. Last one, slight bend. Go through the bridge saddle. Help. This is the tiny one. I saw Tyler Lawson did a gauge set of 7 strings on Music is Wind channel. Died laughing because he like bent all the way off the neck with that slow gauge. It was something else. Alright, so I'm at the top of the tree. To get my position for enough winding, what I do is I go backwards 1, 2, 3. And then that's my pinch point. So we're going to hold it there. And that's where I'm going to start the E. So go through, straight through eye of the needle. This is my last string. Alright, do it right the first time. I have some inspiration watching, so that's some of my mentors speaking there. Alright, we're going to go through the string winding. You go underneath the tree. Alright, kind of got started here, and then I'm going to use my... Here's my air conditioning again if you're hearing a hiss noise in the background. So, for speed, all intents and purposes right here, it's winding straight, still staying on the string tree. Here we go. So, while this is winding, really enjoyed riding my motorcycle today. Traffic was not bad at all. Got some fresh air. We're about to feel the effects of the nearest tropical storms and about to have rain for the next couple of days. But from what I understand, it's not going to rain Saturday, so I'm actually pretty excited about playing Saturday, which is the whole purpose of why I'm changing all these strings. Alright, E is... Did you hear that? It's at B. Let's get to E. Alright, and then from B I go up to F sharp. Hey, it didn't explode on me. Great. So what I do is I just back it back down. That's going to help in a little bit to break them in. Alright. Make this cut flush all the way up against the tuning peg. Right. So the trash part's done. Last part of breaking these in. What I like to do is I like to start in the frets and I jump about 4 or 5 frets and just kind of work each string in. So the E, pull up, down, pull up, 12 here. About every dot when it gets on the lower side. And just really tug on them. So we kind of break these in. And then the same thing. This is what over and under 3 underwind, and it looks like, oh yeah, I had locking tuners, but these are the non-locking kind. So like you said, 3 on the wind. I'm 3 on the wind if I count each 3 there, Chip. So that's some great info. So to break them in, this is my last piece before I really just kind of really fine tune it. Is as I take each fret, you can go each dot. There's no bobble on this for me, but all you're doing is breaking the strings in. So I'm just grabbing tension here. And you feel it a bit, and you'll feel everything give. Now, that's like a D now, so we're going to have to go up. Alright, so we're there. And you do the same thing all the way down, every single string. And you kind of want to really give it a pull. It pulls the tension here, and it pulls the tension here, so everything seats. And if you have a bad string with bad quality, it's going to break on you anyways. Just replace it with another string. Strings are a dime a dozen, and a lot of people cry over a string. Just get another set of strings to back it up. So that's why I usually buy a 3-pack anyways. So right now I'm just kind of breaking the strings in, pull, getting the tension out of it. And then what I like to do is I like to push past the nut before the string trees and just kind of give it a tug here to make sure everything sits down just a little bit better. Same thing, work your next string. You know, kind of like a runner. When they need to do a long distance run, they'll stretch. This is what we're doing. Like a nice stretch before you do a marathon. And that's about what's going to happen on these strings. Because I got to get to where I'm playing 3-hour shows. Way out of tune now. So we're going to work each one like this. And the steel strings are the same way. That's why the winding was very important to keep everything straight. And then really gave this a tug. So it's just metallic atoms that have to touch each other continuously. And the continuity of them, terrible. Let's tune it back. Almost there, almost there. Pesky G string, almost there. There, and then D, and D is in. A string, close, just a nudge, and I'm hoping that E string's still tuned from when we did it earlier. Yep, so, happy little Cowboy G. The C chord test is always my tuning test. Alright, close enough. It's not like I'm building a church or anything. But anyways, that's how I do my string changes. I appreciate everybody watching and being a goober on the internet with me. I gotta sweep my floors. So you guys have an amazing Wednesday, and I will catch you guys next time.
Say hi.
Hello. Alright, this is number 3. Hearing that hissing noise.
Did I fart in the middle of your life?
I don't know. I don't know if it grabbed it or not.
Well, now I know I did.
Did. Hey, they still had some steel. But what's that?
That smells like one of these chicken nuggets.
You kill me. You kill me. Anyways, this is a USA, made in USA. I don't know if you can read it. Let's see if we can. Yeah, there we go. Made in USA Squire people don't believe me when I tell them that. I have a USA Squire. USA. It's not Korean. It's not Indonesian. It is made in USA. And it's hard to believe. So, we're going to clean. Man, everything's flipped. It's reversed. So, this is my third one of the day. And I figured, why not? We'll just hang out on here. Change these dead strings. You got Jeremiah with TikTok in the background, so I'll pardon that. So, got my strings, got my cutter. These are the Ernie Ball heavy bottom with the 52 10 at top. My string winder is missing between videos. I am missing my string winder, so let's get her done. There is one string tree on here, so I don't know if that's like vintage or something, but there's only one string tree, and that's for the B and the E. I don't have another one, so let's have fun with this. Golly, you got an audience today. Alright. If you could smell this case, it smells like pancakes. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. That I said that nobody believes me, but this is a USA made Squire. Made by Fender. It's actually a USA Squire strap. And man, it sounds great. It sounds like any other USA made strap in my opinion. I honestly don't know what pickups are in it other than I know that Hot Rail Seymour is in there. Or DiMarzio, I don't know. It's just, it sizzles. So we're going to take these dull and dead black and dented fret. You can almost see the shiny side if I can get it to flip up. Where I've killed these strings of hours of play. Yeah, you might be able to find one on Reverb there, Michael. It's definitely not, they're not easy to come by, so it's kind of rare. It's not rare, not like where Norman rare guitars. You won't see a USA made Squire in Normans. So, I don't have a fancy changing table. This is actually my kitchen counter. My son's eating his Wendy's in the background and watching TikTok. I'm just on here being a goober, changing strings, while the rest of my house should be slumbering.
Who's all in there?
A lot of my gear guys. Which I'm actually glad they're representing. I got a total of 8 at the moment. And it looks like they're just hanging out. So glad you guys have joined. Alright, last one without string tree. Ugh. It's just grime on there. Oh man, you can't smell it on Facebook, but this smells like maple syrup in here. It's great.
That's the most old man thing I've ever.
It is. Like, you should come smell the case.
Okay.
Tell me what this case smells like. Tell me if it smells like pancakes or Mrs. Buttersworth.
Dude, all I can smell is my fart right now, so I don't think I can get over that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't smell anything. Your arms are in the way.
I still smell my fart.
Alright, your damaged nose. Oh! Yeah, dude. Get strings. It saves lives. So, can you guys see this? Can you see through this? Like, I'm gonna hold it next to the light. Look at that. Oh, Jeremiah, you're killing my video, man. But this is called Don't Mind the Velcro. That's the white you see in the background. I actually have Velcro. This is a transparent overdrive. Like transparent overdrive. So you can see the IC right there. It is. Everybody's like, oh, it's noisy. It's got a plastic enclosure. Look at that copper. Can you see the copper? That's ground. Guess what? It's not noisy. It has a nice blue LED. I wish I could plug it in later. Hey, how's it going? So, I might do a video later on this, but this is made by Bill Yell, Squidworks, isn't it?
Squidward?
No, not Squidward, Squidworks. So, but it's a really nice, bright, clean boost, and I might just peel the Velcro off of it. It is nice and clear. Talk about that. Y'all talk about that pedal amongst yourselves there in the chat. I'm over here just changing strings. This is my third one of the day. I'm already. I'm tired. I'm on the East Coast, and it's getting nighttime here. 10 o'clock here. Ridiculousness isn't even on yet. Anyways, I'm probably gonna bore y'all to death, so I am literally talking to myself like I need expert advice.
That's how YouTubers are now.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
is
know.
that the, what? Did you make this?
No, I did not make that. A guy I know, one of my groups made that, and I bought it from him last year. And
That is sick.
I know you
You
can
need to get a clear Ecto 1.
a clear Ecto 1.
That would be sick.
I should get a clear Ecto 1. That'd be great. All right.
I don't play guitar, but if y'all want to make me one for free,
Make me one for free. Who put this string tree all the way against the body of the headstock? Come look at this. Is that AM or PM? Is it Australia, right? Is that time upside down? Does that mean you're 56 hours and 11 minutes? I'm not even sure.
56 hours.
I think that's like daytime.
Yeah, they go by 24. They like
It's
military
dark.
time.
Yeah, it's dark here. In Australia,
Wow.
they go by military time?
I know they do in the Netherlands.
I do. Netherlands, that's Europe. It's different.
Yeah, no, but it's closer to there than America.
Oh, in Buenos Aires, it's almost, they're an hour ahead? No? Yeah, they're an hour ahead. Alright, so, let's get these strings done. I'm over here goofing off the whole time. Boy, if I could explain the grit that I feel out of these strings, this is just nasty. This is from when I've been wailing away on that Duelist and just bend and bend and bend and spank the mess out of like the G, the B, and the top string.
They
'Cause
may
that's
not be
gooey.
able to smell the guitar through
No.
the screen, but they sure can smell my farts. No.
Aw. Take that somewhere else.
I gotta poop.
So that's Jeremiah. He's my band student out of his 3 siblings, about to be a 4th one in the DeGraw home. He is the one that in 7th grade, and 2 kids out of the entire state of South Carolina in the United States, 2 7th graders marched in high school marching band, and Jeremiah was one of those. It was actually kind of groundbreaking. So he's my only musical prodigy. The other ones are more video gaming and being cute on The Land Down Under. I heard that song just like while we were getting Wendy's and Taco Bell, so yep, Baja Blast going. Cheers, everybody. Bon appetit. Alright. Believe it or not, in 1998, when this was made in the USA, they actually slotted the back. So we're gonna shimmy the E string up here. That's the thinnest one. That's the funnest one to try to get through here without taking the whole plate off. So what I do is I just twist and shout. Except I can't shout because I have other family members that are supposed to be sleeping, so I go to school tomorrow. I gotta work tomorrow. Hey, there it goes. Ball in. Come here. Alright, so scratch this naturally relict gem. Probably freaking out people by holding it up in the air and not really performing surgery like I should. Oh, move pedal. I know a lot of guys that'll just cut all the way across the bridge, like cut all the strings all the way across. I don't. I just take each string one by one and keep on rolling. Hopefully I won't take an hour doing this, but I'm just hanging out. This is my third string change for the night. I did 2, and then I went and got dinner for everybody in the house. But oh, fun story while I'm working on this part. So in my house, in the background you'll see Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell. Like, we don't just stop at one place. We have to stop for everybody. Like, Jeremiah, what'd you get? Wendy's?
Yeah.
2 of them Wendy's. Me Taco Bell, because I basically eat Taco Bell every day. And everybody else McDonald's, which I'm not a fan of McDonald's, but that's what we do. We take each turn through every single drive-through that we possibly can.
Dude, you know what's sad? They don't have Wendy's or Taco Bell anywhere else other than America.
There's Taco Bells
No,
in
but they
Europe.
don't have, I know they don't have one in the Netherlands.
In Germany, they have a Taco Bell, because I remember watching Lamb of God talk about that on their tour.
Australia do.
Yeah, I don't think they have a Wendy's or Taco Bell. They might have McDonald's. Mike Relier. Oh my goodness. I have another mentor that came on. Mike Relier. That's a traveler right there. New York State native. So all I'm doing is just changing strings on the 3rd guitar today for recent joiners here. And just hanging out basically on Facebook, since you can't really do it on person. I met a guy today to trade a pedal, and we actually stood 6 feet apart.
That's dumb.
and talked gear. It was great. That's why I like doing the trade.
What did you trade them for?
This. And I'm
What'd you give them?
I'm the 1st and 3rd owner of this. So, hey Mike, how's it going? So
What'd you trade them for?
I don't know if you remember my yellow Model M pedal that I had, like one of my first overdrives.
Yeah, I do.
And I really wanted him to give it a shot because he's a very overdrive guy and likes a lot of overdrives. I actually shared his post for the remaining part of it. Boy, I'm taking forever on this string change because I'm more or less just hanging out at this point. Fig Newton in the house. Yes. Fig, the world's greatest slide
Where's
guitar
my
player.
pack of gum? I'm joking.
Fig, if you didn't know where all your gum went, it was Jeremiah.
And the rest of the kids.
And the rest of the kids, mostly at Lake Wiley. I always take Fig's gum off of his pedal board. Fig actually stored his gum on his pedal board on stage and shared with everybody. Except the kids with like literally... It's like gum's not a meal, but I guess they had to hold them over for church before lunch or whatever. Fish and Chips still around? Yes, I think Fish and Chips is still around. We get Fish and Chips here, but it's like, I don't know. I won't say.
Chips are fries for them.
I know, but there's restaurants here that actually serve fish and chips. Like Fats Cafe actually had a whole. No, that was the
It's
rat.
just probably not as good as they have it there.
No, not at all. And I've been to Europe. Fish and chips and anywhere in Europe. What's up, Fig? Fig's also great at home repair and landscaping. He's a genius. So we got a lot of people watching now. When I first got on, it was like 50 people, and then it died down real quick. So I guess everybody clicked on my face. So anyways, if you guys are just now tuning in, I'm doing a string change on the 3rd guitar today. I got a concert in the Appalachian Chain Mountains Saturday at a car show. So guess what? I get to play guitar and I get to stare at cars while I play guitar, like classic cars and stuff. How cool is that? It's like you couldn't pay me to do that. Alright, so if you hear a hiss in the background, it's my air conditioning. Just be patient with that. Like I said, basically what I'm doing is hanging out. Alright, E string, your last one. And it's being a little stubborn because it has to bend through the L. So, ew. That looks like a hook. That's crazy. Anyways, I wish that I could explain the integrity of this. There's like this hand goop and just like crust feel to these strings. So we got to get this string changed. This is like the nicer one. So let me put it back on screen because I know a lot of people joined. But look, this is a USA made Squire. If I can get that to go up there, it says made in USA by Fender. and that's hard to believe. But this was made in 1998, so it's not too hard to believe. Anyways, I got traces of finger goo, pick dust, some goo, fret goo from Hand Goo. So what I like to use is this Wyman's lemon oil to do the cleanup. So basically it's just to laminate the top of the clear a little bit and actually go over to hardware with it so we can get some of the corrosion off. And then what I do is basically it's just furniture polish anyways, but this one has the lemon oil, and that to me, there's no sense of buying all the other extra products, but works for me. Nobody taught me how to do this, I had to learn. Before there was a YouTube, I had to watch other people do it, and then I had to start doing my own science experiments. So clean the fretboard, I just use a little dab of Duya, just like that, on the fingertip. Just do that and you work it in. So like on the maple necks and the rosewood necks, a lot of them that don't have that high gloss are a bit porous. And what you do is you get enough to coat on there. I'll go back and clean it very good. But you want to put enough on there, let it sit for 2 to 5 minutes, which I'm probably talking this whole time anyways. So, but I don't have those fancy string changing tables. I just use the case. It already has like a nice built-in little neck rest right there, as you see. And what I do is I just pull the body up here. If I move my Baja Blast out of the way, pull that up and just kind of go through, get the goo out. Are you really drinking my drink? You got tea over there. You get my Baja Blast. Alright, so to explain the smell of this neck, it is maple, so it smells like pancakes. It's the greatest smell in the world. What's up, Chris? Long time ago when we used to stand at the bus stop together, basically. You stay safe driving out there and watch America's landscape. You know, God's country out there, out your front view of your semi. Alright, so let's get the Hand Goo going. It is crusty. I'm having to just get it away from the fret and into the fingerboard. Alright, I'm not going to do the back of the neck or it'll be slicker and snot. So now it's just kind of going over the pick guard. Probably just a little bit more of the polish there. We'll go with the body first, because it can actually store some of that. It'll bubble back up and I have to wipe off all the residue. But man, this thing has like this ice cream vanilla, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a blonde, obviously a blonde strap, but it just has like that, like you just want to like take a bite out of the side of it, like you know, just blonde strap, blonde. Dude, you're not too far away. I'll be in Granite Falls Saturday, which is the reason why I'm changing these strings at a car show playing a concert. So I'm sure you've probably seen the ads. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the lemon oil sit a little bit, and I'm just gonna clean all the pick dust off the pick guard. Nothing real catchy there. Oh, an interesting part about this 5-way is that's not the original button, but I had to use some blue tack to keep the button on because it bent and broke, but it works for me and it stayed on, so you won't see it on the switch, but it's there. I know it's there, and it bugs me a little bit. And I don't know what happened to the original bridge pickup, and that bugs me a little bit because this would have been a great all-original guitar. The saddles are just kind of funky. It shows a bit of the quality back then, so I'm gonna try to bring that up. If you can see that these are not brass or anything like that, they're stainless steel saddles, but they just have that, they're a dent style with the two set screws that go in, and that's older, but saddles have gotten a lot better, and the newer Fender ones have like a little bent shape and then flat, like this kind of shape with the adjust screw. So a lot of them are like that, or you can get like the nice hip shot graphite ones and that kind of thing. That's the original bridge, so that's the only reason why I was pointing that out. Alright, so just getting rid of the pick dust, getting the white back in. Isn't that nice? Blonde, white pick guard. Such a fender touch. Standard fender look right there. Just take a dry side of the rag, which I don't have. There we go. Don't need any more of that. Alright, and then I don't think I'll be able to get it, but you can see a glare from how shiny. What I do is I look at kind of the residue that's oozing up. It's already saturated what it could saturate out of the maple because it's already a very tough, grainy wood. And I'm just kind of going over frets a little bit because not a whole lot of fret wear. Trying to get rid of goo and that kind of thing. Taking the dry side of the rag, getting all that residue off the fingerboard. And then doing the same all the way through the top. So that's just a standard cleaning. That's not like, we're not doing a show car here. Alright, everything's clean. Now I can actually start putting strings on. Oop, forgot the headstock. That was the last piece. Just getting the dust out from where the strings would have been. Alright, opening the pack of strings. I just use my wire cutters, get me started, and then rip across here. Or, old school, use your teeth. Or, you peel it like a candy bar. However you do it, there's no set way to do this. You can start from big to little, or little to big. What I do is I kind of just start with the top string. There's no right or wrong. But you do have to put them in the right order. That's the key. Unless you're left-handed, then we're stringing it backwards. Alright, so 52. Oh. String size. Skinny top, heavy bottom. Skinny top, heavy bottom. So it's a 10 to 52 hybrid. That's just what I use. I like to bend the top, and I like the spank of the fatter strings at the top where the cords are, or the beefy part of the cords. Alright, so not like my telly where I had to go hardtail and it was a pain. Actually, I can go straight through where I don't have to bend the first part, but I do have to pull all the way through till the ball end stops right there. Alright, and then what I showed in the last videos, bring it all the way to the top. What I do is I count three pegs for the length that goes around the post. So this would be like my starting point where my bend would be, because we're about the D tuner here. So I just hold my spot right there, but I do that first with my right hand because I hold tension all the way down, and then I have my length. So if I don't let go, I have my same length. String through, kind of like eyeing a needle. I'm already tired. Still have my spot. Alright, and the last piece is I take out the slack by making like this little Z bend there and holding the slack and then starting the winding. So this is the time consuming part right here. So bear with me. We are going up and over here, and I usually just let the string flop around and watch the winding on the post. I think everybody's gone to bed now. I'm in my final hour knocking this out, so I'm even getting tired at this point. What day is it? So I lost my string winder. I think I left it in one of the other cases. I'm done for at that point. And I'm just dead tired. But we're getting there. So you know what? I left my tuner. Well, man, I was totally unprepared for all this. Night, dude. Yep, same. I gotta get up at 5. It wasn't exactly a tutorial, but yeah, thanks for joining. Bear with me 1 second. Alright, so here's my telly. Guarantee you my tuner and the... Yep, both are still in there from doing the other ones. So, tuner, string winder. Let's speed this up. I am dead tired. I know I can hear his paint man in the background. Alright guys, so to me, if I can cut this on, this is a Joyo clip-on right there. It is a very small footprint. It's actually one of my favorite ones. So what I do is I actually tuck it in, like where they always put that cigarette burn, like Eddie Van Halen always did, right there. And most people would never know that that tuner is ever there, so I'm going all the way around. You see that? Very slim. Nobody even knows that's there, unless they're really looking for it. So, spring bridge, so you're gonna get a little pushback. I'm at D sharp, E. And what I do is I go up 2 steps because you gotta kind of break them in anyways. So I'm gonna go up to an F sharp. Pull a little bit, bridge isn't moving. Back down to E. Alright, and then I take my cutters, go right at the top of the post, as close as I can. Voila, excess is gone. What an excess. So we're gonna set that to the side. Do the next string. A string, 42. I got ridiculousness in the background, so that's what you're hearing. I am working on through the bridge, straight through. Yeah, there we go. Lovely sounds. Sounds like work. Alright, so let's rest that. And what I do, measure to 3, 1, 2, 3, pinch. Now I have my spot. String through. Alright, now that I have my position, hold that there, make the little Z. Alright, let's get the string winder, speed this up. Good. Good thing I work on the case. Here's some slack. There we go. Alright, let's watch the post. Man, I'm getting tired. I know it's super late, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I am just trying to knock this out at this point. It's my 3rd one. And octave E's. Alright, so let's pull that up to A. We're there. Good to go. Alright, I got a moth. Ah. Man, I even look tired on camera right now. Alright, D string 30. Still fighting the moth. Alright, go away, moth. Ugh. It's the only light in the house. Trying not to keep everybody awake. Trying to stay quiet. Got school tomorrow. I got work tomorrow. Alright, D string is a 30. More nice sounds. Alright, so this is actually going a lot quicker than the Telly, since it was hard to tell. 1, 2, alright. And string through post. Hold my spot, pull tight, make the Z, and away we go. I'm going to use the winder again. Get that. Keep on going, keep on going. Back down. Make sure that the post winding goes the same direction. It doesn't overlap and lock each other on the string. So you have a smooth tuning operation. Normally there's a string tree here, but in this make of this USA Squire, they only put one string tree. They didn't put the double string trees. Alright, that's the A, so let's go D. And we'll go up to a E. And then we'll drop back down to D, so kind of stretch the string a little bit. Just breaking the springs back in. Stretching the strings. Alright, cut at the post. Alright, next favorite for everybody, the G string. This one never stays in tune anyways. So let's just knock this out. That one's a 17 for talking gauge. Boy, I'm tired. 3 strings ago, we are almost home. On the 3rd guitar of the night. I didn't even film the last one. I was in a hurry. I wanted to eat. Alright, so. Alright, ball end is working. 1, 2, 3. Pinch to grow an inch. String through. Hold my spot. Pull all the way through the ball end. Make the Z. Alright. Got it. And just make sure the post winding goes all the way around continuously in the same tension there. Give it a pull. Let's make sure the winding goes around the post correctly. Yep. The steel strings are actually, I would say, a lot more important about the winding because they're solid. I'm trying to stay as quiet as possible, so if you can't hear me, I'm sorry. Got Rob Deerdeck in the background. All the way up to an A, back down to G. Alright, I still gotta break these in, so I'm just gonna cut, move on to the next string. B string's a 13, so that's a 13. 2 more to go, almost home. Super tired. I gotta get back up at 5. Shoot your eye out. Alright, B in the saddle. Back in the saddle again. I'm back. And there's my air conditioning, so if you can't hear, my apologies. Let's try to speak a little louder, just a little bit. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Post line here. I'm tired. First video went great. Figured I would do the last one where I had some time and some quiet time. And this is just taking forever tonight. Like I said, nobody really taught me how to do this. I just watched and watched and watched to change my own strings. It's not really a tutorial, it's just me hanging out. So that's a G to a B. That's B, so we'll pull up to C sharp. Pull it back down to B. Alright, break it in a little bit. Now we're gonna cut. Last string. And it's a 10. I sound tired. I look tired. I'm just gonna knock this out. This is what they call the 11th hour. It is actually 10:30, so yes, 11th hour really is the thing. Alright, through the E saddle. Come on, just like fishing line here. It's not that much bigger. Oop. I hit one of my lights. So, every now and again I'll go psh, psh, like 2 cymbals. I think it's funny. Nobody else does. Alright, last string. String through. Got my spot. Go through string tree. Make the Z. Alright. Speed wonder. Come on, baby, one. Man, I'm tired. Thanks for joining, guys. I know some of y'all probably lasted this long. I'm barely holding on here. That Baja Blast is making me crash instead of keeping me awake. I already had a long day at work. But got a new trade today. I had to put 3 sets of strings on today so I could be ready for Saturday's gig. There's B. Let's go up to E. And we'll pull up to F sharp. And pull back down to E. There's E. Let's get everything else broken. That's the strings tension and the spring tension. You should tune the guitar up a half step. Yes, there is actually people that do tune up to a full F and play a whole song where they don't have to capo it in it. And there's people that tune down 1 step and half steps. So there's E flat standard, there's D standard, and there is D flat or C sharp standard. I call it C sharp standard and C standard, but they're crazy tunings. Anything lower than that, get a 7 string, 8 string, 9 string. Yes, it is. Much to learn about guitar. It's not a keyboard. You can't just hit a button to transpose. You gotta know the fretboard, you gotta know the scales. Well, scales work on piano. Any woodwind, brass, percussion that you have notes on, I guess, would be scales, like bell kit, marimba, all that stuff. Alright, man, I sound tired. Here's a G, here's a D. What we're doing is on a Strat normally because it has the spring tremolo on the back. You got these 5 springs that go on the back. So you're tightening the tension, and you kind of want to get this as flat as you possibly can without it having to float. Because what that does is that raises the action here and it makes it higher. You can barely see that. Yeah, y'all are killing it, dude. But there's no front ensemble this year. Kind of disappointed. But needless to say, there's activities in school, which I'm glad that happens. Alright, so once you get the spring set and they kind of seat where they need to go for the tension, then you kind of bend the strings in. So not like on the telly earlier in the earlier video where I really stretched it out. This has both the string and spring stretch. So first you do it the springs because they have to seat first. So once these guys have a good home and just stop the tailpiece, they pretty much sit like within millimeters of each other to stay there. And like when you do bends up, like bend ups and stuff like that, like the springs really push with that too. But you kind of want this to sit first before you start doing all the string stretching. So that's the difference on the Strat versus the Telly. First I'm going to tune this up. E, B, yep, still down a little step. And it depends on the temperature of the room you're in or if you're outside. And a lot of that has to do with stretching because it is wood and it's strings. So there's environmental impact there. D, A, A's not there. And what I like to do before I start stretching is I make sure that at the bridge and the nut, everything kind of sits down on both sides of it. So you can kind of pull up, pull down. You can put the bar in and do the same thing, but I always do the cheat code where I pull underneath the bridge and pull back on the bridge. So everything's good there. What you don't see is behind the plate is like a piece of foam, so you don't hear the springs and the pickups. So that's something I'm not opening all that to do that. So the strings are on here. The springs look like where they're going to be at and look like they've settled. We're going to do the string stretching next. So what I do is I go through the bridge and just pinch and pull for each string. Really give it a go. So, and you feel the tension, and then the springs actually pull up with it too. So what this does, kind of like a runner running a marathon, the strings have to stretch. So I actually feel that one give a lot, so we're going to be way out of tune. But that way you get consistent tuning. And then I go back and actually touch up past the nut where it actually seats. So hopefully some of these tricks might help you, help me learning them over the years. So even do it on the steel strings, because these are the ones you bend the most when you're doing leads and solos and such. So you're just fretting these down, pulling up. Not too much. Pesky G. D. D is almost there. A was 2 whole steps down. Or 2 notes down, a whole step down. And E was E flat, so. Alright, and then what I do is I just cowboy G the thing. And then, this is my real tuning test, is I use C chord. Alright, sounds like it's in tune. Alright, next test would be pulling it out of the case tomorrow and plugging it in and make sure everything's in tune. But man, guys, I am tired. I really appreciate everybody that joined today and just hung out with me so I can finish getting this done. I'm gonna clean up here. I gotta call it tonight. Everybody's in bed. Got school tomorrow. Finished 3 whole sets of strings today, like I worked in a guitar shop or something. I did it in my spare time that I had, and the only spare time I had for the rest of the week. So anyways, guys, if you see this on the recap, yeah, appreciate y'all joining as well and watching all my shenanigans. So anyways, just real recap. This is a transparent overdrive that I worked on today. I might do another video on that. So other than that, thanks for joining. You guys have a great night. I'm gonna leave this up on my page. Thanks for hanging out.